I was chatting with somebody outside before we all began, and she asked me what I was going to teach, and I said existentialism. And she said, I took a course on that in Brooklyn College a long time ago, but I could never figure out what they were saying. So with that as an introduction, I need to say that existentialism is a very difficult theoretical context. And I can understand why it was not easy for her to understand. It's not an American theme. It's a European theme. And the people you will find in a book on existentialism are basically European. I think I can say that's true. Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, Jaspers, Marcel, Heidegger, and Sartre are the 6 people you'll find in every book on existentialism. Some of them, like Sartre, wrote in other media, in a sense. He not only wrote very complex and important philosophical treatises, but he, as you probably know, wrote short stories, novels, plays, and those are much more accessible. And in this class, I want to blend the theoretical aspects of existentialism with the manifestations of existential themes in other areas, such as in literature. It's one of the most brilliant and difficult passages regarding existentialism, 2 of which themes, you might say, are the irrevocability of guilt and the absurdity of the world. When these notions came to the United States, they were just transformed into something hilarious. However, if you would go back to works of literature and make those the pathways into existentialism, you'll find the task much easier. And to make that point, I'm going to read you a passage. Not a chance. I'm going to read you a passage from the end of Sophie's Choice, which is a very brilliant exposition of a existential set of themes. I'm not going to try to summarize Sophie's Choice. The basic emphasis in Sophie's Choice is on the Holocaust, of course, with very interesting parallels to slavery in the South. Now, at this particular point, Sophie is trying to manage to survive with her 2 children, and she's dependent upon the decision of a doctor. And I'll just read you this passage. I don't need to comment on it. I just need to let you know, and you'll see where the issue of guilt and absurdity comes in. Ja, mein Hauptmann, I believe in Christ. She's asked whether she believes in anything. I believe in Christ, she says. What folly. She sensed from his manner, his gaze, the new look in his eye of luminous intensity, that everything she was saying, far from helping her, from protecting her, was leading somehow to her swift undoing. She thought, let me be struck dumb. The doctor was a little unsteady on his feet. He leaned over for a moment to an enlisted underling with a clipboard and murmured something, meanwhile absorbed, picking his nose. Eva, pressing heavily against Sophie's leg, began to cry. So you believe in Christ the Redeemer, the doctor said in a thick-tongued but oddly abstract voice, like that of a lecturer examining the delicately shaded facet of a proposition in logic. And then he said something which for an instant was totally mystifying. Did he not say, suffer the little children to come unto me? He turned back to her, moving with the twitchy methodological of a drunk. Sophie, with an immunity poised on her tongue, and checked with fear, was about to attempt a reply when the doctor said, "You may keep one of your children." "Bitte?" said Sophie. "You may keep one of your children. The other one will have to go. Which one will you keep?" Have to go means go to the gas chamber. "You mean I have to choose?" "You're a Polak, not a Yid. That gives you a privilege, a choice." Her thought processes dwindled, ceased. Then she felt her legs crumble. "I can't choose, I can't choose," she began to scream. Oh, how she recalled her own screams. Tormented angels never screeched so loudly above hell's pandemonium. "Ich kann nicht willen," she screamed. The doctor was aware of an unwanted attention. "Shut up," he ordered. "Hurry now and choose, goddammit, or I'll send them both there. Quick!" She could not believe any of this. She could not believe that she was now kneeling on the hurtful, abrading concrete, drawing her children toward her so motheringly tight that she felt their flesh might be engrafted to hers, even though through layers of clothes. Her disbelief was total, deranged. It was disbelief reflected in the eyes of the gaunt, waxy-skinned young Rothenberger Führer, the Hitler side, to whom she inexplicably found herself looking upward in supplication. He appeared stunned, and he returned her gaze with a wide-eyed, baffled expression as if to say, "I can't understand this either." "Don't make me choose," she heard herself plead in a whisper. "I can't choose." "Send them both over there, then," the doctor said to his aide. Mama, she heard Eva's thin but soaring cry at the instant that the thrust of the child away from her and arose from the concrete with a clumsy, stumbling motion. "Take the baby," she called out. "Take my little girl."
Thank you, Richard. Okay, thanks. The Richard Lichtman Classroom.